All right, guys, welcome back. Of course, this is trying to win the chess part two, and kind of wanted to start it off with the fact that if you watch part one, and I'm gonna try and be consistent in the fact that I don't want to really play games unless I'm making these videos. So but it's life, so I may falter here and there, but I'll try to document as much as I can. He actually just straight up hung the queen, which is also part of Maiden 3, and here I found Maiden 8. So, yeah, instructive. Hopefully, we don't miss free one movers like that in this episode. Okay, D4, D5. I'm just gonna play my standard setup. I'm thinking, yeah, um, we can take in the center, which is pretty principled. Um, but let's just continue our development like we usually do. I could go for this pin, but it's not really the soundest. So I'm going to actually bring my knight first. Yep, bring two knights. And I think we go bishop, queen here, and then we castle whichever way. So he's already trying to pretty much mirror, I'm guessing. Oh, so he strikes here. I'm guessing he was anticipating long castles, but I haven't castled yet. So we can already decide whether or not we want to play for the center by striking it. But I think I'm going to just castle short. And he immediately strikes in the center, which is a fair move. It's a fair move. But I'm actually just going to trade off. However, it might not be better to trade off, but we're in such a closed position. I'm going to do it. Because he's going to take with the pawn, and now I have to move my knight. Actually, he just forked me. But, well, not really, because, yeah. Now I got tempo on this knight, luckily. So we came out that exchange up a pawn, actually, which is quite good. So he goes for another trade. Um, you don't really want to trade too many pieces when down a pawn. It's just not really good. So now I can even start with a queen side attack. Something like this. And the idea is if he attacks me, well, he would give up this pawn. Well, no, not necessarily. But hopefully I can get in with a Greek gift, which is the real tactic I'm going for here. Okay, he plays queen out. I'm going to play queen here to start to line up an attack on the... he goes here to attack this. This was defended. Now this pawn is free. But he's kind of wandering with his knight to the wrong squares. So we're going to just ignore for now and play queen here. Now if he pushes, that might just blunder maiden one, I believe. I think he's spotting it. Yep, he spots it. But now here, I don't really have an attack. Oh, he's trying to chat. He's speaking in Spanish. Um, but I'm thinking even rook here. But then that actually no, it doesn't. So I'm gonna play rook here. It's not really attacking anything, and I'm lining this up. He immediately goes for closing the center. But my plan was to always take, and now you cannot take neither of those pawns unless you try to move your queen. Now I'm guessing. Well, actually, yeah, you just can't take. You lose your queen. So is he? And if he can't take, so we're pretty. Oh, I completely forgot about. I literally mentioned this move and completely just blundered my queen in one move. So we're just gonna be down like two pieces, pretty much. Oh, he goes for the pawn. Feels like that was inaccurate, but it's kind of fair considering he's a pawn down. Um, yeah, it's gonna be very hard and very tough to win this position. Uh, Luckily, I do have this, and we can just kind of see what his plans are. But his pieces, luckily for me, are not very well coordinated. So we're gonna have to really take some advantage and hopefully build up a king side attack. This isn't mate because he'll just go to the corner, and he's already trying to build up one himself. So there's no way to really defend this pawn other than taking, but that allows him on the back rank. And I don't really want that. Don't really want that. I could also push, which will defend and kind of create this slight complex. Um, and he takes, which is fair because then queen takes. But I was kind of looking for this to double my rooks anyway. Just make sure I'm not running into any tricks. I don't believe so. And he might just take, in which case I'll just snap off the pawn. Yep. He'll win this, which, yeah. Oh, wait, I just completely blundered that too. Yeesh, I'm very, very unsound in this game. But this is what happens, it's life when you blunder certain tactics pretty much all the time. And I'm back ranked actually. It's just back ranked. Oh, actually, no, it's not. I defended back rank, luckily. Yeah, so I guess his idea is to get in here and mate soon. But we're down a rook. I mean, yeah, it's not mate, luckily. But this, well, no, there really is no mate, luckily for me. But it's definitely not a winning position at all. Yep, he going for the simplification. I don't have any checks in this position. My only hope is to just try and consolidate and build an attack over here. But yep, he's just gonna snap off the rooks. Could have tried to defend it, but it's no real way to defend this position, honestly, other than like trying to bring the king. Yeah. So we can get to the second and we can play here. Okay, so he blunders this check, but it's not really a blunder considering that. But I do have this, which isn't winning anything, but it's protected by the knight. And maybe, yes, I actually just found a fork. So if he takes, he'll lose his rook, and we're just gonna have to play down a queen, and it's just not gonna be good. Um, I don't really have much of a solace in this position. He's just going to eventually eat the pawns and probably just promote. He could even bring his king and just checkmate. Yeah, okay, so he's looking for checks. Um, he can even come now and eat this pawn. Yeah, yeah, but he does win the knight. Oh, I'm in check. Whoop, there we go. And now he pushes pawn. He pushes p, and He's just gonna take with check, and it's bad. Yep. He blockades, and I'm not in time. So, yep. Uh, I don't have no real way of getting there in time. You see. Yep. And he even takes the pawn. So, yeah. I'm pretty much done here. It's actually made one. Oh, he missed it. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. He's just. I respect his dedication to the craft. Is he gonna find mate? Yeah, I think he's gonna play the end game. Yeah, he's looking. Yeah, this is what happens when you're down a queen, though. Oh wow, I just proved myself because I got a stalemate. This was actually completely a losing game. He completely missed. Main one was right here. This is just. Oh no, it's not mate. Um, main one. Oh, this is main one. I did misspeak because I thought it was F2. It was actually C3. So I will take responsibility for that. But he could have just looked for checks, and I mean, there's just no way. Like, um, yeah, I have to run like here, and he'd probably just like ladder. So you can even go like here. Wait, no, not this. Go like here. King runs back here. Yeah, just this simple ladder technique that I kind of flubbed just trying to show, but he missed that. No, he wants to chat too apparently. E5. Really? Think his idea here is this and then takes, but I'm just gonna let him go. Okay, so he just leaves that there. Fair enough, but it's not really much going with that. I'm just gonna. And there it is. Um, oh well, the idea is to bring a rook early in the game. We could ignore it. We could also ask the rook the question of like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Then I mean, you don't really have much. I mean, you can try coming to the center, but that's just horrible development. That is like the worst development. So you probably play back and you just waste a turn. Or you give up the rook. You did all of that to move your rook, and then you double your pawns. Oh, this is bad chess. This is bad chess, and I mean you're not winning anything. This is really bad chess. Okay, we're gonna play here, um, and now he has to. All right, gives up the knight. You're not winning this pawn. I don't know what his. Oh, he's trying to strike my knight. Okay, that's a fair move. That's a fair move, but I always wanted to play back anyway. Like I didn't want to get into this big exchange off right now. So yeah, this was like Bozo opening, uh, but like even worse. Oh, okay, they're not gonna let me show it off, but yeah, we've seen this Bozo opening, but this was even worse because like he he didn't even like he hung it in like four moves, and like the whole plan was to get the rook right there. Like that is just not it's very much just bad. Um, here we don't really have much. Um, I don't want to allow this, but it's already not allowed because the knights is going to take. Um, so I think I will pass along. And if knight goes there, we'll just exchange knights. But the only problem is he'll take with the pawn, and then it's a problem. But pawn ended up right there is not the biggest deal in the world. It's just not. Okay, he's trying to. Oh, I completely missed this move. Completely missed this move. He's trying to go here and fork my rooks. But luckily, my bishop guards the h7 square. So I can even just bring my rook. And also my queen was defending. So maybe there's a move that I'm missing. But we're fine. Yeah, so now I'm going to kick the knight out. Kick the knight out. Kick the knight out. I could just take this too. This is just there for me, but I don't want to get my queen. I don't want to get the queen out. You know, it's not worth it at all. When taking pawns, you have to consider like, okay, for one, is it protected? For two, is it really worth it? So now this knight is low-key slowly getting shut out the game. And he actually has allowed me to take. So I could do that. He hasn't committed his king, but it seems like he's not going to. So we might have to try and get in. We might have to try and get in. But we already have good compensation with the rooks staring at the files. And these files are probably just going to open up soon. So I'm just going to take. He allowed me to take. I'm just going to take. I'm thinking maybe knight here. Or yeah, to attack the knight. Oh, he plays queen off of the diagonal. That's an interesting move. Very interesting move. Not really sure what the move is here. Actually, I do think it is to take low key because he'll have to take with the knight, but then I have no follow up. So no checks. Might just play a waiting move here. Maybe even like knight there would just not win. Just wouldn't win. Could try to plop into the center, but then that allows the knight to take. So there's really nothing much here. So I'm just gonna play a waiting move. Just a waiting move. And the idea could even be just to trade off the queens, which I might just do. I might do. I am up a rook, so we can actually trade off. He's kind of have to. He kind of has to take it. Well, he could play here, and then I guess I'll. Oh, he does. So now with no queens on the board, there is no chance of checkmate. Luckily for me, or unluckily for me. So however you look at it, it's life though. So I do have to kind of speed up because yep, he's trying to get the rook involved. This is not going to be a completely easy endgame to win. But this pawn is hanging. He can't take. King's pinned. Whoops. King's pinned. So, yeah. Plays there. I'm not sure what that does. It does allow me to capture with a check, but he's gotten himself out of the fork, so this check is not nearly as strong. And this check will just straight up lose, you know. So, yeah. And he defends Z-pawn too. So, I could give check. Give check. But then this is not as strong. See? It's kind of a give or take, but we did move this knight here. But I guess we'll just eat some pawns. Why not? Why not eat some pawns? So now we've won what? 3 pawns. I'm not sure how many pawns I won by playing that. And we've unpinned the king. So now we have to be mindful of this kind of pawn play, but we still have a pawn in the center that's protecting. So I think what we play here is rook is b. Yeah. So he immediately tries to snap off the knight. I think he pre-moved that. So let's play a little faster here, because if he can't take the knight, and this pawn is protected, and it will activate another pin. It's very instructive to be mindful of putting pieces in front of your king. You know, it's just not the most sound tactic. I do have this check, but it's not defended by anything. Could try to reroute my knight. My pawn complex is not the strongest here, I must say, which is kind of sad. It's actually very sad. So I'm gonna just reroute my knight for now. It just hung a knight though. Yep. And he spots it. Now my rook is hanging. Only solace I get in this position is that I can immediately ask it the question. But that was just the blunder of a knight. I've actually lost some of my advantage now. I've actually lost a good bit of my advantage. Okay, so he tries to tuck away in there. Problem is I can just push. And bishop, you see, so there's really nothing. I can even ignore and double my rooks, but shutting out one of his bishops at least is pretty cool to think about. He might, okay, so he's trying to stop the pawn play, but my plan was to always double rooks. A better move would have been back, because now I wouldn't be able to double my rooks, but now I can. It's probably not as good, honestly, but this pawn was never a threat now that the king is unpinned. So his idea is, I'm not sure. Could even offer a rook trade. Could also ask the rook the question while taking up more space. I think that looks good, because we got a 3-on-1 here that he's just gonna have to account for. And now I can get a connect 4, which I think is pretty cool. And then he's gonna have to try and like defend against check somehow. But the only way you can do that is by sacking a rook, pretty much. So it's going from bad to worse. You know, Knight blunder was definitely unfun of me, but we're gonna try and there it is. Rook sacrifice. I'm thinking he's sacking the rook. Oh, so he took with the pawn, but this is now it's a rook for free because I'm protected. Right. I don't have back rank, but I can get to the third in kebab, and we will eat Z pawns. We will eat Z pawns. Can't eat this one. I'm gonna try and eat this one. If he pushes it, he will hang a bishop. Oh no, not necessarily, but he pushes the knight. I always wanted to eat this pawn anyway. Yep. We could try and ladder mate, actually. Yeah, let's try and ladder mate. Well, the problem is with trying to ladder mate here is that he's already on the back rank. So like we're gonna have to like, you know, like really work hard to find it. But we're gonna play it because I think, but he's just gonna go here. Oh no, he doesn't. So this is actually checkmate. because he's not in time to find anything to get off the second rank. Wait. Oh no, he blocks with the bishop. That's the only move. That's literally the only move. Or the knight. Oh, the knight and the bishop. So he protects himself for just a little bit. I can even just play here to really shut the king out. Might as well. He's probably just going to take. But this is how it is when you're up 2 rooks. You're just winning. I completely missed the knight can come back and block. But we've pretty much shut all of his pieces out of the game. Yeah, it's this is definitely like resigned territory, absolutely. This is definitely resigned territory. So his idea is to this is not mate, but I think he wants to keep that knight around. I think that's his plan, to keep the knight around. Yeah. Um, Luckily, I have this. Um, but yeah, yep. So now I have this. I'm just gonna try and checkmate actually because yeah. Okay, so he tries to attack. Um, might go. I could go check. Um, but I'm actually taking a long time for it to make these moves. To be honest with you. Um. So don't want to sack a rook here. Let's just attack the knight. Screw it. It's not. It's not. Oh, I completely blundered that that was a fort. Okay, so we're gonna have to just push pawns. We're just gonna have to push pawns. We're gonna have to just push P, because blundered that was a fort. I didn't even peep that. Now, luckily for him, he's guarding the back rank, but um, I will just actually probably should just go ahead and attack this knight so he can move around and I can get to the back rank, or he can just let me there, and then he will lose this bishop, and then we will just continue to push P. This game is going to be hard to win because now he cannot stop this one from promoting. The bishop has to probably go back, or he will actually just lose. He will actually lose. He's actually just going to lose sooner rather than later. Um, that does nothing. Okay, he's trying to not do anything that stops this pawn. And he doesn't have much. Queen. Yeah, we won on time. But that was it was pretty much over. Just gonna push and promote, but didn't play fast enough that time. So we're gonna try not to talk too much. Well, not talk too much. Well, yeah, in a way, talk too much, but try not to just waste too much time overthinking moves that are pretty simple. It immediately strikes in the center. I'm just going to take and open up because I think with open lines we'll be fine here. I think he immediately realizes his mistake. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he had a different plan. Well, this doesn't really cause any problems. No, it doesn't cause any problems. So we're just going to ask it the question, and I will trade off every time. And this is not scary. I will just take with the king, and we'll castle. I mean, you will forcibly take the castling rights away, but you can't justify that in this position at all. Actually, not when you get given up upon. So he plays here. Ah, I see his idea now. His idea is to take, but it maybe probably win a pawn back. That's probably all he gets actually. And he doesn't even go for it. So now I'm just going to take because why not? And now that the queens can stare, the queens do have a staring contest, so maybe I should keep some tension. I think I'm gonna keep some tension, and I'm actually going to get my queen away from that, and also put more pressure on this knight. I think just he might move the knight now, or not, and now he'll lose it to the queen, which would allow me, if he castles this way, which I'm kind of anticipating, to get in quicker. This is just not a strong move. That is just not a strong move because my idea was to just take anyway. But I think I'd be better off keeping some more attention. Unless he wants to take. But then, you see. Now, I guess the idea is that I will not play rook d1. But I'm just going to play h3. Which, luckily, I don't have to play now because you guys aren't playing this aggressive F and G pawn push against my bishop. Recently, at least. So, it's a game. White looks pretty passive here, but they're also up a pawn, so it's kind of justified. Oh, well, there's the move. Um, I'm guessing the idea here is that, but I could just take, and if you take, I'll take with the pawn, and then we've kind of equalized. Um, because my plan was to always get this pawn out and play rook g1. I might just play rook d1, but problem with rook d1 is actually I'm just gonna play rook d1, and we'll just trade off like this. Yep. So there it is. I could take and allow even the trade of knights, but actually I kind of like that idea. Regardless, his pawn structure is kind of just fucked. It's kind of just fucked. I may be down a piece though, after all said and done. But I'm also up two at this point, and he's probably not going to be able to justify that completely. He gives a check. Oh, that was actually a good move. I can't take. My only the only move I have is to just play here. Uh, it's not mate. It's not mate. He doesn't, you know, he could take, but then then his knight has to move. So yeah, and now I can. Do I want to take this knight? And how do I want to take the knight? Actually, yes. I'm going to take like this because it attacks the bishop, forces him to take. And then I take, and then his queen is discovered to be attacked. So it's a game though. It's a game. You know, his bishop is in, but it's not really doing anything. You kind of got to be mindful. Like even though stuff like this is like somewhat scary. So now it takes here, and he can't. He has to move his queen. He has to move his queen. And I may even just snap off the knight too, because he might take my knight. So just to, well, if he does that, I'm just gonna win the queen. So he has to move his queen. He's gonna see it. There's no way he doesn't see this. This is simple counting stuff. This is just simple stuff that cannot be overlooked. He's gonna see it. He's thinking for that long. There's no way he doesn't see it, and he misses it. Well, you know, now this is gonna be a pretty simple in game to convert. Um, Given everything that's transpired, we're gonna start with kicking out this bishop because why are you here? What's your plan? Then I will play king f2 and get my rook. Get my rook. I could even barrel stuff. I could even barrel stuff. He's threatening this. This is not really a threat. I may even trade off bishops. Actually, this is a bishop trade by force, but do I want to play it right now? I think I want to get another. Oh wait, I can't play it right there for the because of the pin. This bishop is pretty annoying. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't do nothing about play here. Well, he doesn't have anything. He can try and pin me. Well, that doesn't work. So we're just gonna play here. He's probably gonna do this, and then I will check him. Oh, well, I completely blundered this. The weird thing is, I can play here. Oh, and lose the queen. Yikes! I definitely blundered that. He found it. He definitely found it. This is weird. This is weird stuff, though. Well, then he gives up the bishop. So it's just a rooking game now. Yeah, it's a rooking game. But sad part is, yep, he's trying to get activity for his rook, but it's kind of too little, too late. It's definitely too little, too late. Um, let's see. How do I want to defend the second rank? It's already defended, so I'm just gonna move my king. Actually, he's probably gonna go check, but you know, nice defending. So he doesn't really have much. Um, oh, whoops. Guess I gotta go back. Probably shouldn't have moved my king, because these guys always look for. All they do is look for checks. Um, how do I want to play? How do I want to play? How can I win this position? This is not an easy position to win. I could protect with simultaneous attack because there is no real back rank threat. So we're gonna just threaten the double pawns and defend. And okay, so he's really trying to make the net. Let's see. Actually, I'm just gonna push P now and try and make a net myself. And he may take this pawn completely, but now you have to, yep, stop defending that pawn. And I may even just take this knight. Yeah, take this knight. Because there is no like real checkmate threat. Now I do have to move this knight, but I do have this, which will lose the knight. But I also could snap off this bishop. Actually, yeah, let's snap off this bishop. Come on, brother. You either run or you okay, so he runs. Problem with running though is Oh, I have a triple fork. Oh, so this is an instructive moment about running your king. You will just lose games. And it's telling because I lost this game. I low key almost lost this game myself. So I think here we just clean up. We get rid of the pawns. Uh, okay, he wants to really win this pawn or win my rook. Um, attack the bishop. Attack the bishop. Tell the bishop to go away. It goes away. Now we can work a little bit to clean up. We can work a little bit to clean up. Okay. He's really, really working hard here, isn't he? This is a fork, but rook versus bishop in the end game is just always winning. Like even if he tries to eat all my pawns, he will just fail. Yep. So now rook's on the second. Or I could even push P. I'm gonna push P. Then put the rook on the second. And we will eat. Oh, I completely blundered. My rook was hanging. I knew I should have put rook on the second, and I'm lost. I've lost. Oh, y'all see my dichotomy here, right? I wanted to play rook on the second, and I should have just played it instead of pushing P. But I was like, let's push P, guys. You gotta have the P. You gotta have pawn play so you can win games. Now this is just either. This is really losing. This is just losing, actually. This is just losing. I have a right. I have a 3 on. I have a 3 on. Yep, but he checks and he wins the pawns, and I can't even push. I can't push none of these. He's just gonna eat all the pawns. So I'm gonna actually resign because he didn't find anything. He just I just made critical error after critical error and completely allowed him back into the game. D4. I'm gonna play C6. Mm, Knight D7. G6. He tries to strike in the center. I'd rather him just take. And he does. Can't take with the knight. See what he's talking about. They always offer to chat, but never. Okay, so he just wanted to go all in. I really should have played H5 to forget about it, but I completely was not paying attention to what he wanted. So I'm thinking he's trying to close out this side, but I was never necessarily planning to castle that way anyways. And okay, so now my opponent is just kind of just locked himself over here because now I could well he does take. I'm guessing no Rick. Okay, so Rick takes doesn't work. Like this counting exercise just doesn't work because you have nothing defending, and now you've opened a file for me. So I'm okay. I'm fine with that. Um, Also, the problem here is queen takes with check. So if you take, I take with check. And now you can't castle. Or you will block with the knight. Oh, you block with the bishop, which is arguably worse. So yeah, we've simplified very quick. And now I can even get my king to safety. I believe. Yeah. Only thing is, my bishop is stuck guarding. Is stuck being guarded by this rook, which is kind of sad. Makes me a sad boy. So he's trying to win my queen. Do I have any checks? I actually have this, which doesn't really win anything, but I feel like we're really getting in. I feel like we're really getting in. I don't have no other checks though, so we're gonna give it. King probably, yep, runs there. There is no mate, but we do have this, and I think he's getting mated soon, unless he like, cause he can't. Well, he can block the file like this, which would kind of save the game, but not really. You would lose your queen. I think. Yep. After all of that, you will lose your queen. So check, lose your queen, or you get mated. It's one or the other. It's literally one or the other. The only solid you get is this bishop. All right. So, do we have any mates? I believe this is a mate. I think we're gonna get a mate. Yeah, there it is. It was. Oof. You know the scariest part of playing on chess.com? It be the fact that you know, you have to like wait. You gotta wait to see if you got checkmate. You gotta just like, there is no like, over the board. They kind of, most times players will resign because if you're playing over the board, you're hopefully smart enough to recognize when it's made. But it's life, so we all get caught up in our own shenanigans. But yeah, you see, like, you're gonna see on the recording, like I had to like sit there and like hope that like checkmate was coming, and it's very annoying. So yeah, but he actually could have just prolonged the game, but he instead decided to run his king, which is it is what it is. But I get it because you lose all your pieces. But taking the rook is not even the best move because it's made in 7 via what, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I'm really not sure. Like I'm actually genuinely not sure. Maybe like, but this is like a repeat move. But apparently it's made in 6 now. I I don't know, guys. It's life. So I can't find all the answers. We're gonna play another one. Um, Starting to kind of get a little bit more stamina this time around. It's my go though. Forgot I was playing as white. Okay, standard queen's pawn. We're gonna get a London. We might get a London. We'll get a London. It's always bad to try and strike in the center though. Um, but in doing that, it does open up the position, which you see that I am fully capable of blundering. Problem with playing as white is that you'll always, as long as you play solid, have the initiative first. Meaning, it's not a threat. You're gonna be, part of it's gonna be like, oh, you're scanning to make sure everything's defended, but you also have the initiative, so you have to go at some point. You know what I mean? So, like even here, maybe a more accurate move would have been playing here, but part of it is also keeping initiative and developing pieces and uh, trying to play it soundly. Um, but it's life, so What you want to do? I'm not asking you guys. I'm asking my opponent, Mr. Lucas. Or Miss, you know. You got an anime profile pic, so you never really know with those. But they are from France, playing against a French player. So, hope Lucas has some love for your boy, and we'll get into a nice, beautiful chess game. Could play knight here, enabling bishop b5 check. It's not as strong because he hasn't developed. There it is. So I'm gonna play knight here to enable bishop b5. The only problem with knight c3 is stop. This c pawn is boxed in, and bishop b5 is like a very short-sighted move. The idea of it is just a double, and it's cool. So like maybe if he gets his queen side more developed, then I'll play it. But if not, I think we'll play more solid and go for a short castle. But also, this bishop is just like absolutely horrible. He strikes in the center. I could actually now play bishop b5, which would make taking stronger. See that? So now he can't take because he's pinned, but my bishop is hanging. So he doesn't do it. Oh, he pins me. So now, because I was never really guarding this this pawn, I was really attacking. I'm just going to take. See now? So now I can take, and now I can even just castle away. And he has nothing. So it's cool to try and mirror his black. This threatens. It doesn't allow me to castle yet, actually, which is quite annoying. But we can just play here and even play for a long castle. He might take and disrupt my castling anyway, but then this is not as strong. So now you've kind of wasted your idea behind your bishop being there. You know, like my bishop is strong because this pawn is like strengthening without even being protected. It's only, I mean, it's protected, yes, but this bishop is strong because it attacks a threatened piece, if that makes sense. And that's what the bishops does. He is offering a draw. I think it's a little too early to be offering draws. He really wants to draw. Okay, if he offers it one more time, because I do believe third time is the charm. Okay, he castles. So I guess he wants to get into a fight. We could even castle the opposite way. With like here. I should have just took the knight though. But this knight still has to move regardless. So like this is totally fine. But I think he is feeling the initiative here, which is fair because I mean this is still not free because the counting exercise is still in my favor, fortunately for me. But a move like this is kind of strong. It's kind of strong. Yeah. So he's taking a lot of time here. For what? I'm not sure. Uh, but he hasn't necessarily played any bad moves. Okay, queen there. So that does allow me to just I could take, but then my knight is pinned. See that? So and I could play here to ask the bishop the question, but my king's still pinned. So we're going to just castle. Get our king out of the center. And then we can go to war. So he's threatening to take. But the problem is, if he takes, I will take the knight. You know, we actually have it's a lot of tension right here. This is a very tense. This is about as tense as it gets. So he's threatening. He's threatening to checkmate. Okay. So, but here, oh wow, we have this, which forces the queen somewhere, defended by the knight. And you can't take the knight because you will lose your queen. So this is a good concept of danger levels. So, and now his queen has to go back, and then we can properly ask where this bishop is going, which it has to just go back. It has to just go back, and this is a good fight. You know, I was hoping for some love in this game, and I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it. So a3 is a move, takes is a move, but we pin ourselves, so that's not really good. We do open the file. Okay, so he goes there. And I'm not sure what the idea is. I guess it's to keep more pressure there, but that's not an issue. We're gonna promptly ask this bishop to leave because it's quite annoying. It's just quite annoying. Now I can go back to a very passive square, which I'll be fine with. I will live with that. And here he's just going to have to he's going to have to play a little faster. He just is. Um, and I think here I am going to just take the knight and start barreling down on the queen side. But I want to first kind of make sure my king is decently safe. So I may even snap off this knight. I think I'm going to snap off this knight first. Because he's played a good game. So I have to kind of work to keep some initiative. Oh, oh, no way. No way he leaves. This was a very good game. And I'm like 90% sure I'm not even that much better. If at all. I may just be slightly worse. Honestly. Because I mean, well, the my kind of argument is that black doesn't really have an attack. But let's see what the eval thinks. Oh no, +3. Okay. I definitely sold myself short in this position. Which is hilarious. But it's life. So yeah, I mean, I just thought I played pretty solid and sound, and I just made improving moves. And yes, this is a completely winning tactic. I've missed something here, and I'm not sure what it is. Let's look at the analysis because I really want to see what idea I missed here after Queen E2. Or no, not Queen E2. Queen C5. Yeah, Queen C5. No, no, no. Queen B6. Oh, Knight A4. Oh, whoops. Knight A4. I think. Wow. And the idea is to. Wow. He has to literally pretty much shut his knight out. In exchange, he wins the rook. That's brutal. And then. What does that allow? A8? Oh, oh my gosh, that is brutal. He literally has to allow my knight in all the way to lose a rook and a queen to try and save that position at that point. That is a brutal tactic. Now, I mean, he'll win it back, and my compensation is that the knight's completely shut out, like completely shut out. Like the knight can't go back anywhere. He has no way home. So we could literally just chill, and but obviously, yeah, here you just trade off and you win. Um, like you even play rook d1, and then knight's trapped. Knight's just trapped. Knight is literally just trapped. Like the idea here is don't even try and defend it, leave it trapped. And my argument anyway was that his his queenside pressure that he was trying to apply was quickly quelled, and there is just no attack. There's just no way in because I'm gonna eventually do stuff like this, and you know, get my queen over here, do this, and be scary, and it's just life. You live and you die by some of these just one movers. Honestly, like it's not completely losing. Now this is completely losing because this is just I don't even know. Yeah, she has no way home. She literally has no way home. She literally just has no way home. You're just gonna have to try an equal danger, and it just doesn't work because you hang a rook and a queen. Uh, so yeah, I really gotta watch for these night hops because they're in the games. Sometimes I find them, and we have some pretty fun experiences. But other times I completely miss the opportunity, and things could get really scary if I watch out for these night hops a little bit more. Now get out of here.